And then the next complaint we're all hearing now is how bad Jozy Altidore is, and what's the future of American strikers, and then no strikers scored any goals in the tournament, and the future's grim, and the USSF is to blame, and it's things are looking down, down, down. So not true, really, is it?
Well, I don't think so. First of all, I think people are being a little tough on Josie. Yes, he didn't score. Yes, there were some instances where he probably should have passed it instead of trying to dribble three people. Actually, those should have been passes, regardless.
Yeah.
But I think the stuff that he did off the ball is what really made his tournament. He was the one who got up in the air, headed the ball down to Bradley to get the Algeria goal.
Right.
He was no, I've had the Slovenia goal.
That's true.
He was the one who passed the ball to Dempsey, who got the shot off against Algeria that was deflected to Donovan to win the game.
Yeah.
There were just other things. He held the ball well. He played with his back to the goal well. You could really see his time at Hull coming into play here.
Right.
I think given Davies, if he was there, I think it would have been a completely different tandem up there. The fact is that I just don't think Josie and Finley really worked well together. I really don't.
Yeah, I think Josie's problem still is, in many ways, a couple things. One, sometimes his first touch was a bit heavy. I mean, there were a couple times where he
could have had a goal.
He should have had a goal. He should have been one-on-one with the goalie, and it should have been a lot easier on him than it was. But his first touch is still a little heavy. I agree with you. With his back to the goal, he looked a lot better. What improvements he's made since that season with Hull. Very, very noticeable. And then his other thing that he definitely needs to focus on is passing. So many times he decided, as you mentioned, to put down his head like a rhino and try to, go through three guys like this was NFL football or something. Well, he's got to realize he's got to have the ball attached to his foot to make that happen. And he's no Lionel Messi. So I would suggest to Josie that he looked to his left, he looked to his right, and he looks behind him when he's triple covered like that. And you could see almost a reluctance sometimes from Dempsey or Donovan when they brought the ball up on a break. They almost didn't want to pass it to Josie because they were kind of afraid of what he'd do with it once he got it in open field. And this is supposed to be Josie's strength, but I think when Josie gets the ball in open field, there's one thing on his mind: attack. And that can't always be the case. So that would be my only criticism of Josie.
Jumping from Josie to the other strikers, I mean, one of the big things that has been talked about on blogospheres is that we have all these strikers and none of them are finishing.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be a concern. However, we did score 5 goals this World Cup. Should have been 7 in 4 games.
Right, exactly.
There was a problem with finishing. There were opportunities that we should have put away, but we did put away some chances, and we did come out on top of the group.
Yeah.
Given that, yes, no strikers scored, but you know what? It's what they did off the ball that really made the difference. I mean, I harped on Finley earlier, but what he did is he did open up the space for Donovan and Dempsey to cut in with the ball and control it, because they're the ones that are going to be dangerous with it. Gomez was the one who made the inside cut to draw the Slovenian defender with him. That opened up that space for Bradley.
Right.
I mean, they're not getting the goals, but we are getting goals, and that's all that really matters.
Yeah, and I think it is all that really matters, although it would be nice to see a striker get a goal for the United States. I think it would make us all breathe a little easier. But even thinking back to the Confederations Cup, a lot of the great goals there were either from Dempsey or Donovan, granted when Dempsey was playing striker, but still. And maybe that is the option in the future for us. Maybe, we're seeing guys now on this team. Dempsey's going to be 31 in the next World Cup, and Donovan's going to be 32. Maybe they're just not going to be fast enough, either of them, to be playing the wing 4 years from now. But I feel they will. I feel they'll both be there for the next World Cup.
Well, it really depends on who we get as coach. If Bradley stays or if we get another coach, we might not rely heavily on speed on our wings. Right. You know, we might see a completely different tactic in the next World Cup. Who knows? Mm-hmm. Dempsey, to tell you the truth, Dempsey's not really a speed demon right now anyways.
Right.
but he does enough to get up and down the field to apply pressure and everything.
And he's good in the air.
And he's good in the air, yes.
Yeah.
Donovan, while he's not as quick as he used to be, he still has the speed. He still can get up and down that field with the best of them. And he's getting more and more technical with his dribbling aspect. He's actually getting a little more greedy, and he's like, you know what, if I have to do this myself, I'm going to. And he'll take it to the hole every time.
Plus, he's got the best vision on the team. I think we're going to still need that 4 years from now. I'm just saying that I think Landon Donovan is the best passer the United States team has ever had, and he's really turned into a guy who can thread the needle. I just think he's a necessity 4 years from now. Although, I could be wrong. He could completely physically fall apart in the next 4 years, and that's the thing. It's unpredictability. So everybody predicting doom for the United States 4 years from now because we're going to lose Donovan, or Donovan's going to be too old, and we don't have any strikers, and our defense is a complete disarray. It's hard to say going into the future what we're really going to have, because I think you mentioned earlier all these people who posted in 2006 their projected lineups for 2010 and how wrong they were.
I saw quite a few people posting like Quaranta and Map and Convey, and I mean these would be picks for MLS squad maybe, but I definitely wouldn't have projected them to be a World Cup caliber player. I mean, I know Convey has played, and he's played all right at some times.
Right.
But, I mean, it just goes to show how unpredictable it is.
Yeah.
You have no idea what player is going to step up a year or two before the World Cup. I mean, who would have thought in 2006 that Edson Buttle would have been here?
Jonathan Bornstein.
Nobody.
Yeah, Clarence Goodson. Stuart Holden, Rico Clark. I mean, how many of these guys 4 years ago, even Benny Feilhaber 4 years ago, I don't think anybody's, calling those guys' names out for the World Cup quite yet. I think
even if you look back, I mean, even Michael Bradley was just getting to Europe 4 years ago.
Right, exactly.
So, I mean, even he would have been a stretch to say, oh, he's going to be a starter, let alone a key player.
Yeah, I mean, the whole point is we don't know who's going to turn out and who isn't. We can panic about our defense, but we've got guys out there right now developing in not only the MLS, but across Europe, like Eric Lichau, who we've talked about from West Ham, who is
He's from Aston Villa.
Aston Villa, I'm sorry. He was going to say he's one of Brad Guzan's teammates, Brad Friedel's teammates. These are guys we're not really sure right now how they're going to turn out. They might turn out a lot better than we think, and there are always these players that come out of nowhere that show up, and even on striker, you mentioned Brett before. We've got plenty of guys, even in that position, who have a real good chance to blossom in the next 4 years.
They have their opportunities. I mean, when you have somebody like Moises Orozco, who's down in Mexico, and he's doing well. I read earlier that he has 8 goals in 10 fixtures.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty impressive to see.
And we don't know. I mean, even guys like Breck Shea, who are playing in MLS right now, hard to say. We've got guys like Bobby Wood, who play for 1860 Munich, who've been scoring for the U20s. Even Jack McInerney, as young as he is, 17, 18 now, has had some great moments with Philly this year. I mean, these are young kids, but 4 years from now, they're going to be 22, 23 years old. And they'll be ready to maybe make a statement. So there's no point really, I guess that to summarize, there's no point in panicking yet.